Let's make a very good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you guys are joining us from this evening. We say, let's fight, guys. Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight. Privileged to be here with each and every one of you. I told you guys we got two kind of people in this country. It's Fight Nation and they got Fire Nation. Fight and Fire Nation. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. Boots on the ground. Let's fight, folks. I am privileged, as I said, to be here with you. I was a little delayed, folks. I was a little delayed at the National Assembly. And I know you guys wouldn't know why. I know you wouldn't know why. I'll tell you a little later on in the program why I was unceremoniously delayed for a program this evening. Why I was unceremoniously delayed for our time together tonight. Great to see each and every one of you. I see Redoman is here, Michelle Jacobs, Yvonne Daly, Wilton Blue, Ken Passard, and Yonet Benjamin. I see John Raymond. Good to see you, Yonet and Shonet Barnes. Yonet and the Shonets dominating the live stream comments this evening. Wilton Blue and Gemma George. I see Yvonne Daly. I see Patricia Kisoon. Oh, welcome in the ring to each and every one of you folks. Let's fight. Good to see you guys here. Trust you guys have had a fantastic day. Those of you who are joining us on Twitter, those of you who are joining us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Let's fight, guys. And Jelly Abrams and Jolly, Adam Henry. I see Shavena. Speechless Miss Todd is here. Yonet Benjamin. Samantha D. Ali is here as well. Glensis Mingo Byrne and Sheena Hazel. Guys, great to see each and every one of you. I don't know about you, but I'm fired up and ready to go, guys. Ready to go. Ready to fight. Welcome in the Coliseum for those of you who are now joining. Welcome into the arena and the stadium, guys. Good to see you. How are you folks doing out there? How are you all doing? Good to see you, folks. Good to see you. Lots to discuss this evening. Lots to get through. Who is Sue? A lot of folks still want to know, who is Sue? Sue speaking, folks, but in some rather strange manners. We see Sue speaking. Folks want to know, who is Sue? Who is Sue? Who is Sue? For some strange ways, we see Sue speaking. We're going to talk about that a little later on in our program as well, folks. We're going to talk about that. Who is Sue? Sue speaks. Sue speaks. Good to see everyone joining us, guys. We are fired up here and we are ready to go. Paul Passard and Azim Ali. Good to see Glensis Mingo Byrne and Jamal Jordan. Diane Fordyce and Kesh Sharma. Great to see all of you beautiful, fantastic folks. You come into the Coliseum, the ring, the stadium there, and the arena, guys. You know you got to share the live stream. And we want you guys to smash that emoji button as well. You either fight or flight. It's either flight or fight, folks. Some situations come our way. We got to either fight or it's flight. Boots on the ground. We embarking on pace and power, we said, in 2022. Pace and power. Power and pace. Pace and power. Good to see you guys joining us. Yolanda Stevens. I see also, who do we have with us? Paul Bourne and Karen Thorne. I see Andre Saul is here as well. I see Glensis Mingo Byrne and Heat saying Karen Mafoy and Yonet Benjamin. Guys, I told you, my apologies. I was unceremoniously delayed in the National Assembly. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit why I was unceremoniously delayed, guys. And we're going to talk about that a little later on in the program. We got to get through some of the events of the day before we get to that, folks. That's all interesting information, but we can talk about it nonetheless. Full disclosure, folks, in the interest of transparency, full disclosure, we can talk a little issue. Why I was delayed from the National Assembly. But you guys is what matters. You guys are what matter. And so good to see Nicola Marks and Glenford Gordon and Rakesh and Audrey Kanzias, Aisha Barry and Guyana Spectator, Carol Jacobs and Volme Wilson, Arthur McCalmont and Alexis Douglas, Karen Smith, Cecile Ogle. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see you guys. How are you doing? How are you doing out there, folks? I don't know about you, but I am fired up, ready to get to the fight card. Ready. Gotta shift down a little bit because take the graphic off of my shoulder, guys. Good to see you, Dan Fordyce. Is it Imani Souza? Good to see you, Imani and Carol Hudson and John Jarrett, Volme Wilson and Sharon Grant. Good to see each and every one of you. It's our privilege, guys, being here with you and spending this time. That being said, folks, I'm ready to get to the fight card. And look what is happening around the region, folks. Your things is only here, things little tight. Folks, it's not only here. A couple other places, things tight as well, folks. Things tight. So there's this fella in Jamaica. Oh, the man minding his cows in peace. He can't mind the cows in peace in Jamaica. But in Jamaica, them guys different. And they're only coming for 1 year, though. Things tight. The man minding his cows, grazing his cows there, and carry them out to pasture. And them boys fetch away all 30 cows. You know, we little different, you know. We little different from the Jamaicans. I know. Them boys will carry 1 or 2. Right? Them guys, look, folks, when them guys driving up Barbados now, they pray for a cow run across the road. They pray for somebody's sheep or goat. Run across the road. Them boys say, no, today's a dry day, lot of cow run across the road. In Jamaica, them guys fetch all 30 cows. Can you imagine that? All 30 cows. Them boys fetch away. All 30, they serious in Jamaica. That could be the tagline for the tourism industry. We're different in Jamaica. All 30 cows. So the couple that doing the farming, minding the cows, aiming for a better life, trying for a better life. Them boy fetch me all 30. All 30. I sure y'all know some folks like that. They don't take some, you know. They would fetch me everything. True story. So I got a couple track shoes that I use to go running and so on. Trying to keep in fit, you know. Fitness is important, folks. Fitness is important. You eat well, you watch your health, you exercise and so on. Scrap my shoes and pull them outside. 3 pairs of sneakers. Them guys fetch me 2 and left 1. We still got a little conscience in this country though. Them boys fetch me 2 of my sneakers. A couple of years ago, they left 1. You understand what we're telling you? But in Jamaica, they're different. They fetch me all 30 of the man's cows. All 30 of the man cows. All 30 of them. Them boys ain't easy. They are not easy, folks. That being said, a little closer to home. Y'all know crime. Going up, spiraling every goddamn day. Crime is on the rise. And what Robson doing? What Robson Ben doing? Robson name calling. Crime going up, and we've shown you guys here systematically. People getting robbed in broad daylight, people jumping in people's house, whole manner of things. Unabated by the authorities, guys. Unabated by the authorities. And we've been following this situation here with this stabbing incident. This situation with this stabbing incident in Leopold Street. Quite recently, in Leopold Street. We have been following it, guys. We have been following it. And this is an update as crime continues to spiral locally. We're being made to understand that the police have issued a wanted bulletin for Rakeem Peters. The police have issued a wanted bulletin for one Akeem Rajkumar. My apologies. Akeem Rajkumar, also known as Barney. And he is wanted, folks, in connection with the murder of Carl Waite. Remember we said the news sources didn't seem to get it right. You got pawn shop owner. You got other folks there as well. They said he was a pawn shop owner. They said he was a close vendor. Nonetheless, he was shot in Leopold Street. Apparently, the guys were saying he was trying to intercede. He was trying to part a fight. He was trying to be a peacemaker while he was shot. He was trying to be a peacemaker while he was shot. So the police have issued a wanted bulletin for one Akeem Rajkumar, also known as Barney. But interestingly enough, you all know this country is a small place. This country that we live in is a small place, folks. It's a small place. And when we started trying to get an understanding of who Mr. Rajkumar is, Akeem Rajkumar, also known as Barney, all kinds of things start turning up. All kinds of information start churning up. Once you start doing your homework, all kinds of information started to churn up, right? And we're seeing links. We're seeing folks are alleging that Barney here is linked to, a multi-million-dollar gold heist. Right? There are links to that issue there. There are links to that. And as we kept doing our homework here, folks, we were led to the picture of the day. That is where it led us, to the picture of the day. Because we saw Barney associating during the last election campaign with some people who you might know. I'm not too certain you can know them, him or her, but you may. During the last election, Barney was there in full association. So here is Barney, also known as Akeem Rajkumar, or rather Akeem Rajkumar, known as Barney. And the folks are telling us during the last election that Barney was seen. Well, this picture speaks for itself. Barney has been linked to this gold heist business here, among some other things, right? Picture of the day, folks. You see, when you do your homework, you start seeing certain things, and you want to know what is happening. It's a small country. Everybody know everybody, and everybody know everybody business. Everybody know everybody business. And so Barney has been linked to this multi-million-dollar gold heist. And the report we have reads in this way. A Northeast Penitence man, Georgetown newspaper vendor, has been remanded to prison for harboring a man who is wanted by the police for the multi-million-dollar robbery committed on Wallison Enterprise. And this was in, let me get the dates right, giving you guys credible information, September 14, 2021. And this was according to iNews. We're picking up this report from. And the report reads, on Friday, again, September 2021, Akeem Rajkumar was brought before the Georgetown Magistrates Courts. And the particulars of the charge alleged that on August 7th of last year, 2021, at Leopold Street, Georgetown, while knowing Antonio Maraj, called Thuggy, and others, committed an armed robbery, which he received, comforted, and harbored the said Maraj. Yep, and harbored the said Maraj. That being said, folks, this is the same Akeem that is now wanted by the authorities. And here is Akeem. Oh my, show me your company, and I'll tell who you are. Show me your company. Picture tells 1,000 words, and you folks can make the deductions and the conclusions and everything for yourself. You folks can do that for yourself. But a picture tells 1,000 words. And this is our picture of the day. And folks, we hope that the gentleman who was murdered there in Leopold Street just a few days ago, Mr. Carlos Waite, that Carlos gets justice. Right? That Carlos gets justice. That is our hope. While others want to know who is who, that is our hope, that Carlos Waite gets justice. Moving along on the fight card, and coming up, folks, I'm going to be joined by Member of Parliament, my sister, Natasha Singh Lewis. And Natasha is going to tell you all why I was delayed for the start of the show. Unceremoniously delayed, folks. Folks, we're not coming to spectate. We ask that you guys share the live stream and smash that emoji button as well, folks. Welcome to the ring, those of you who are now joining us. Joining us on Twitter, joining us on Facebook, joining us on YouTube, joining us on LinkedIn as well. Good to have you here with us. Good to see you. Moving along on the fight card, folks. Moving along on the fight card. The PPP come back. And you all know when they come back, it's bribery, it's thievery, it's corruption, it's all manner of things. And people start asking, who is Sue? Who is Sue? That is the question people start asking. The PPP come back. But we're being made to understand, folks are watching them. Folks are watching them very, very, very closely. This is just today. The British, they want to see greater transparency in the local tendering process for contracts. That is what the British asking for. They want to see greater transparency. And you can tell them they can't have it? Huh? They want greater transparency, and they should have it in the tendering of contracts. I wonder why. Just in December, folks, as we have said here, the Americans were asking for the anti-corruption initiatives that the government is going to be undertaking. And folks, this report here, we're picking up from Uncle Gordon, Big Uncle Gordon, News Source. And in this report, News Source says, as Guyana continues to see more foreign investment interest, the British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, believes that there should be greater transparency in the tendering process of contracts as the country develops and attracts international investors. During a press conference today, on the heels of a visit by a group of British investors and businessmen, the High Commissioner related that Guyana continues to grow, especially due to the oil and gas sector, and there is need for the strengthening of the procurement process. According to News Source, the High Commissioner said, this country is still growing incredibly fast. The resources are gigantic. The resources are gigantic. Yep. And as you say, transparency is so important. So it's an area where I feel capability still needs strengthening. Capability still needs strengthening. And I definitely know it's on the mind of the government at the moment. Well, there's where we might differ. What's on the mind of the government is Sue. Sue, nevertheless, we thought you all know the British, they're concerned. They are concerned about what's happening locally here. And I'm certain they're taking a look at Sue. They're listening to us, they're hearing us, and they're taking a look at Sue as well, folks. But other stuff happening as well. Other stuff, and we're grateful for the British for the keen eye. We are grateful to the British for their keen eye and what they're seeing and what they're asking for. Greater transparency in that tendering process. Moving on the fight card, folks. I already have my guest, Natasha Singh Lewis, the Honourable Member of Parliament, already in the virtual green room, waiting to come on. In other news, folks, look what's happening here. Look what's happening here by the Marriott. What is going on here? And we are told that a lot of people dumping a lot of nonsense behind the Marriott, or rather, it's the general area of the Marriott and the Pegasus Hotel there. Dumping a lot of stuff. And don't take our word for it only. Don't take our word for it only. Brian Max was there quite recently. And this is what Brian Max reported. Wonderful citizen, always on the heels of everything that is happening in and around the capital city and other areas of Georgetown. This is what Brian Max said about what's happening there behind the Marriott and Pegasus General area there. Take a listen, take a look.
I'm here on the whole Loku Beach, because the whole Loku pool used to be there. We used to refer to this area as the Loku Beach area. Somebody is dumping old sand, old dig out, old mud, old steel, old wood, old cement, old PVC piping, old steel rod on the beach that the Guyanese people gotta enjoy. That this is our beach. We reclaim it when Badal they block it up, we took it back. Somebody on the gotta be the directive of the government, under the directive of Bishop Ejil, the Minister of Work. Some fucking body has been dumping fucking garbage on the fucking people's beach. Eh? What really going on, Bishop fucking Ejil? What the fuck are you really going on with out here? Y'all fucking PPP motherfuckers only like to hear when I behave bad? What's the fucking problem? There's a people's beach. People come out here and enjoy with their fucking families. What's this? You're making your fucking eyes and paws the people of Guyana? You're too fucking comfortable? What's your fucking problem? What's the fucking problem? You mean to show that you in charge, you on the fucking beach? This is not your fucking beach, Ejil. There's a beach of the people of fucking Guyana. You're your fake fucking church. This fucking beach belongs to the fucking people. Look, you got another fucking truck coming here again. Eh? You got another truck bringing more fucking shit here again. This looks like material you can put on a fucking public beach. What the fuck y'all just really want? What the fuck this country just really want people to do? What y'all want people to fucking do? Y'all begging for something? You begging for something? The fuck are you doing out here, Bishop Ejil? Minister 1 to fuck Ejil? What y'all really doing out fucking here? Y'all past the fucking Guyanese people? Y'all, hey, that's fucking PPP. PPP, y'all really like seeing fucking people get angry. Like y'all just live for fucking this shit. Continue. Continue. Eh? Continue. Dumping more fucking shit on the fucking beach. Eh? Spoiling the motherfucking beach. Put fucking Barra Jack there to lie down on it and fucking try to fucking shit at him. Don't tread on the fucking beach. What is fucking this? What the fuck is this? You have no regards for the fucking people in this fucking country? Look, people out here enjoying the fucking beach. Huh? Look at this motherfucker we trying on the fucking beach. There's a man going to throw it at the back and build up the back. You're trying where the fucking people is coming, the athletes is coming in the afternoon. Y'all continue. Continue, PPP. Continue. Are y'all gonna end up where you fucking ended up in 2015? Continue, you stupid pack of motherfuckers.
Yep, folks, that is Citizen Brian Max, and we apologize for Brian's colorful, unparliamentary language, but clearly a citizen who is upset by what the current regime is doing there on that beachfront there by the Marriott and borders also the Pegasus Hotel. Clearly very frustrated on behalf of citizens, much as I was in the National Assembly earlier this evening. But we're going to come to that, folks. We are going to come to that very, very shortly. But that's what's happening on that front. But Guyana is not a real place. And if that didn't convince you, no notice, no warning, just a lot of stuff being dumped on the beachfront there that borders the Marriott and the Guyana Pegasus down there in Kingston. And if that doesn't demonstrate that Guyana is not a real place, folks, if that doesn't demonstrate it, what else will? What else will? Nothing else will. But as soon as you talk, folks, as soon as you talk, maybe we talk too soon. Maybe we talk too soon. I thought it couldn't get worse. It's not a real place. That is a car, a bus, driving on the pavement. And where's the police when you need them? Where is a good traffic police when you need them? Oh, did that go by too fast for you guys? What about another look at that? Notice the driver of that bus seems so upset that the other driver didn't allow him to pass. He was so upset. Folks, did that go by too fast? That there was a bus on what is considered the pavement for pedestrians to walk on? Did that go by too fast? Is Guyana a real place or not? Yep, indeed, folks. You may have come to the conclusion Guyana is not a real place. And one would argue that you cannot be wrong. Who is who? Who is who? That is the question. Who is who? And what we have had, if you guys have joined us last evening, if you guys have joined us this morning, if you guys would have joined us for a podcast during lunch, we had the Vice President Bar Jaglio after Sugate. It's at its apex, coming out to say he spoke with Sue. This is a movie called The Landlord and the Tenant. He spoke with Sue, and Sue denied these allegations. And up to the hour we came on, Sue had not faced a camera, folks, to deny these allegations for himself, unfortunately. But the landlord said he spoke to the tenant, and the tenant denied leveling any accusations that the landlord take bribes from persons the tenant sends to see him. That is what the landlord said. But then the tenant has come out with a statement. Ladies and gentlemen, the tenant, we haven't seen him as yet. He has not faced the cameras. But the tenant has come out with a statement. And I want to read it. The tenant has come out with a statement. Or perhaps what I should go to is what the Chinese embassy in Guyana put out early on today. And then we touch on the statement by the tenant, because the plot thickens. And we know the landlord is center, the tenant on the periphery. This is what the Chinese embassy put out just after our breakfast show this morning. For your information, FYI, dealing with the very subject matter. No sooner were we concluded, a statement was issued from the Chinese embassy in Guyana. Here's what the statement reads very quickly. Statement from the spokesperson of the Chinese embassy on fabrication about China by a Vice News interviewer. The statement reads, recently when a journalist from Vice News International interviewed the Honorable Vice President Bar Jagdeo, she was found to come to Guyana with predetermined agenda and try to smear and attack the China-Guyana Corporation, as well as the Chinese companies. The Chinese embassy is strongly dissatisfied with and firmly opposed to such violation of professional ethics. The Chinese side highly appreciates that the government of Guyana upholds the One China principle and keeps developing cordial relations with China. China-Guyana friendly cooperation featuring equality, mutual benefit, innovation, openness, and benefits for the people in accordance with the interests of the two countries and two peoples, not against any third party, nor should it be influenced by a third party. Chinese companies operating in Guyana are following local laws, international practices, and market rules, participating in big projects through open and fair competition, which is beyond reproach. That is the statement of the Chinese embassy in Guyana and by extension the government of China. Now, this is Sue's full statement. Sue Zhirong. I, Sue Zhirong, wish to state categorically that I have never solicited any bribe, inducement from any company. He didn't make that statement, that sound. That is me. He has never solicited any bribe, inducement from any company or individual, either for myself or any government official, including the Vice President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. I have read the insinuations by the Vice News Network and others and wish to deny any wrongdoing, including influence peddling. This is Sue Zhirong. He continues, I have been a businessman in Guyana for many years, and I have always conducted myself in accordance with local and international laws and standards. I wish to refute strongly any suggestions that I acted on behalf of any government official, that I presented myself as a representative of anyone, or that I promised any favor or business-related reward. I have already engaged with my legal representatives on these false reports and fabrications. And there ends the press statement. I have already engaged with my legal representatives on these false reports and fabrication. But folks, that is the statement of Sue Zhirong. Sue! That is the statement of Sue, folks. I'd love to see Sue face some cameras and ask some questions. But more than that, folks, I am looking forward to the report by Vice News. We are looking forward with bated breath to those reports out of Vice News. So there you have it. Initially, the Vice President saying he spoke with his tenant. The landlord spoke with his tenant. The tenant denied any wrongdoing. Now the tenant has come out with a statement, or a statement has appeared. Let me be specific. A statement has appeared purporting to be that of the tenant. The tenant who sends persons to see the landlord. And there you have it. But I hazard to think that we've seen the end of this. As we wait to see the Vice report, the Vice News report, folks. That being said, we now turn our attention to the National Assembly. And the reason I was unceremoniously delayed, kept from you this evening, Feels good when I shake my head like that. Oh, you think Miss Isabel? Kept unceremoniously from you. Folks in the National Assembly, throughout the course of most of the afternoon, Minister Nigel Darmalal was on the floor representing the agency, the ministry he has responsibility for, taking questions from MPs, but responding in the most high-handed, nasty, belittling ways, especially to female MPs. Especially to female MPs. One after the next, as they pose questions to him. And he have a responsibility because taxpayers' dollars fund the many projects, fund the ministry proper. And he has a duty to respond. And to respond properly in the National Assembly. But that did not happen. In comment after comment, response after response, the most belittling responses came from the gentleman who the House tells us is an honorable member. Oh, judgment! They were turned to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. And so, just this afternoon, I stood my ground and intervened to protect our female MPs. Natasha Singh Lewis was on the floor, and I heard the speaker saying to Nigel Darmalal as he attacked her, "Minister, you're getting personal." The minister paid no heed to the speaker, and the speaker seemed unable to bring him under control. And on behalf of all the MPs, female MPs, especially those who are being abused by Nigel Darmalal, on the opposition, the parliamentary opposition side of the House, I stepped in and protested what Nigel Darmalal was doing. Bishop Juan Edgil, who Brian Mack spoke so glowingly about in that piece about what is transpiring on the beachfront there by the Marriott Pegasus area in Kingston, who Brian Mack spoke so glowingly about. Bishop Edgil sought just this evening, in giving an update on the situation, he sought to put the matter in context. This is the godly bishop. And the godly bishop, ladies and gentlemen, around the world, Bishop Juan Edgil, he's the pastor of a church. He's an honorable man. Listen to the bishop. Listen to the godly bishop.
While not sitting in his seat, he got. While not sitting in his seat. While not sitting in his seat, he got up and challenged the speaker and hurled specific remarks to the honorable minister using unparliamentary language. There are words that are not allowed in the House. Anybody who have watched the debates, if members of Parliament would have slipped and said those words, the speaker would have cautioned them, had it taken from the record, and the rest of it.
That was the bishop talking about language that is used or should not be used, and what should be the actions of this speaker. And the speaker is an honorable man. Folks, who is sharing the live stream tonight? Who's smashing that emoji button so that others can get the valid and credible information? Here is one of the things, or the nice things, that Nigel Darmalal said to a female MP of the parliamentary opposition. Just one of the glowing things in his response as a sitting minister. Albeit he's installed as a sitting minister, a question is posed to him about how the people's business is being transacted in the National Assembly. And here the response Do we have that? Hear the response of the Honorable Minister.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
What? Who's sharing this live stream? Who's sharing this live stream? What? Who's sharing it? Who's sharing the live stream? What? What? Take a listen again. Who's sharing this live stream?
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
What? What? That is a response of a government minister to a female member of parliament asking a question? She needs a dildo? No, I think, no. Hold up. What?
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
What? She needs a dildo, folks. Who's sharing the live stream? Who's sharing the live stream? She needs what? Folks, other people got to hear this valid and credible information. And that's just one of the comments that was thrown at female MPs, female members of the opposition, parliamentary opposition. What?
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
Shocked. I shock. When you're shocked, you still got room. But I shock people. I shock.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, certainly the speaker must have upbraided the honorable member Nigel Darmlad. I am certain that could not have gone unnoticed. He's on his feet in the National Assembly responding. I am certain his fellow colleagues would have reprimanded him, would have said, no, Darmlad, you cannot respond like that to the female members of the National Assembly. I am certain that he then spoke after, as they were given the update. I am certain that Sanjeev Dattadin would have reprimanded his male colleague in the House from speaking that way to a fellow, a female member of parliament. I am absolutely certain that Sanjeev Dattadin, attorney of law, would have risen to the occasion. Let us take a listen to Sanjeev Dattadin, a member of parliament.
Let me make it clear.
Where is Sanjeev? Sanjeev,
Let me
come
make
through.
it clear.
Sanjeev, you there?
Let me make it clear. Minister Darmlal was not upbraided by anyone and was not disrespectful to anyone. There is within the House reality and truth.
What the hell? What the hell? What?
Let me make it clear. Minister Darmlal was not upbraided by anyone and was not disrespectful to anyone. There is within the House reality and truth.
What? What, folks? What?
The The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
I am flabbergasted, simply flabbergasted.
Let me make it clear. Minister Dharmlal was not upbraided by anyone and was not disrespectful to anyone. There is, within the House, reality and truth.
Reality and truth. Folks, what took me to my feet in the National Assembly is when my colleague MP, Natasha Singh Lewis, was making her presentation. And Nigel Dharmlal, Minister Nigel Dharmlal, veered off of his response to get into her family business. The Speaker himself tried to intervene and said to Nigel Dharmlal, "You are getting personal now. You are getting personal," and he persisted. Folks, I have the privilege, the distinct privilege, folks, the distinct privilege for the main event this evening to welcome my sister and Member of Parliament, Natasha Singh Lewis. Natasha.
Sherrod.
Welcome in the ring, Natasha. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Natasha, you sat in the National Assembly. The Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development had an expansive time today to deal with their budget allocation. And maybe it was just some of us who heard all of the nastiness that came from Minister Nigel Dharmlal. Maybe just some of us. Natasha.
Sherrod, I want to say thank you for having me in the ring, but more than that, I want to publicly say thank you to you for standing up for me this evening in the National Assembly, for standing up for all of us, the female MPs in the opposition. I know it took a brave heart to do that, and I know there might be sanctions coming. We saw the motion against you, and Gail moved that motion. The Speaker asked Gail to move a motion to suspend you from 4 sittings. Sure, that took a lot of bravery and courage, knowing as a Member of Parliament that there might be consequences to your actions. And I want to say thank you very much for representing us, for representing all of us. But let me say to you that I think from listening to Bishop Edghill and Sanjeev Dattadin, I think I walked away this afternoon thinking that Nigel Dharmlal needs a psychological review. But after listening to Dattadin and Bishop, I am thinking the entire bunch of them across there needs that review because something is wrong. For the entire day today, Nigel Dharmlal has been abhorrent. He has been obnoxious. He has been personal. And let me tell you what has happened, my evaluation. In Region 4, there are, I believe, 4 female MPs who scrutinizes the budget for Region 4. And Sherrod, the public must know that Dharmlal's method of hiding the slush funds that he has for Region 4, the money that they will siphon off, is to attack the persons who are questioning the budget, to attack them and distract them from the questions that will bring out the thievery that is taking place in the PPP. And so in Region 4, I don't want to repeat what was said in that video. He attacked the Region 4 MPs. And so the Speaker pretended as if he didn't hear, because at that point in time, he didn't say anything. And Nigel went on personal attacks on those MPs. Moving on from Region 4, we went to Region 5. And so you will know Vince Roy and myself are the 2 MPs who were assigned to scrutinize Region 5 budget. And so Vince Roy got up and he started asking his questions. And knowing that I am coming next to the next set of questions, he decided to sidetrack from one of Vince Roy's questions and to take a personal swipe at me and to tell me which one of my relatives live in Bath Settlement and to insinuate different things. He also said that that relative lives in Bath Settlement and is one of their councillors and he would spend money to fix the roads. What is he saying? You understand? He went on to talk to MP Karen Cummings about me. You spent a whole hour to address this nation in your budget speech to talk about Burnham, and you don't know Burnham. When Karen said, "Who are you talking to?" He said, "I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to that utensil behind you," referring to me. And Sherrod, I stood
Wow.
on my feet. I stood on my feet and I answered him. And you know what the speaker said? "Miss Lewis, you're being personal." But when Dharmlal was saying all that he had to say about me, he
Yep.
said nothing to me.
Yep.
He
Let me
provided absolutely no protection for me. And this Sherrod, this here, it can't stop. We can't allow this to pass, Sherrod. Let me tell you what happened. I made my budget presentation for 2022 in last Tuesday. Last Tuesday, you might know, was International World Hijab Day. World Hijab Day celebrate on the 1st of February every single year. And on that occasion, when I rose to give my budget speech, Dharmlal attacked my hijab.
Yep.
And I called him out. I said to him, "If you have a problem with my hijab, come and let me deal with it." The speaker said, "Absolutely nothing, Sherrod. Absolutely nothing." And we moved on. Just after my presentation, the installed Minister of Human Services came on to speak, and she described my behavior as vile.
Yep.
When I stood there to defend myself, she said my behavior is vile, but said absolutely nothing to Dharmlal, who is sitting 2 seats away from her.
Yep. And there was no intervention by the speaker or any of his colleagues, Natasha. And this is just one of the things that we could pull quickly before showtime, that he said in the course of responding to questions, as I've played to you and those persons who are now joining us. This is just one of the things. Take a listen again.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
Just in case you guys didn't hear that, I want to give it one more time. This is in response to a question, an ordinary question. A member of parliament is asking about the budget and about spending. And this is the minister's response.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had to be supplied to the team that distributed the COVID cash grant, so that is why the figure was so high last year.
There is no penalty for the Honorable Minister Nigel Dharmlal, but I intervened as any other of our male MPs would have soon enough on behalf of our female MPs, and I am suspended from 4 sittings of the National Assembly. And a sitting minister can hurl an insult across to a female parliamentary colleague. You can get dildo. And he sits in the National Assembly, and I am suspended for 4 sittings. The guys come back. Natasha.
Sherrod, you see, if those 4 MPs that he was referring to, if they had descended into the space that he occupies in the National Assembly and tackle him, I can tell you those 4 MPs would have destroyed Dharmlal in the well there.
And then they would have been called hooligans and thugs. then they would have been called hooligans and thugs and suspended as well.
Yes.
And the minister is allowed to shout across to female MPs, you need a dildo.
Yeah.
And this is what we're paying salaries for to ministers.
And
They will insult
so-
female parliamentary colleagues.
Datadin being a lawyer. Datadin being a lawyer. I mean, Ejel, I don't know where he is, but Datadin being a lawyer says a lot to the Guyanese people, the caliber of people that the PPP has in the National Assembly.
And
Vile.
let me play that again for the Guyanese people who might be now joining us. We're referring to this, and this is only part of the statement by Datadin just this evening on the heels of this incident in the National Assembly. And I'm suspended.
Let me make it clear. Minister Dharmlal was not upbraided by anyone and was not disrespectful to anyone. There is within the House reality and truth.
Yep, Natasha.
What reality and truth is he talking about?
Yes,
What they didn't recognize is that we have been paying attention to this all the time. Sherrod, you would remember the very first day that we started, the very first presentation for the opposition in the National Assembly. Joe Hamilton stood up because he spoke after a Manzo, and he carried on at a rate disrespectful to that member. And the speaker said absolutely nothing. The speaker is supposed to protect each member as they carry on their business in the House. And he said absolutely nothing, Sherrod.
The speaker only hears the eyes in the National Assembly. That's his only thing he's going to hear, the eyes.
You remember last night when we were dealing with the education budget. If people could hear the heckle, Dharmlal heckled Don Hastings. Very, very disrespectful, derogatory to the indigenous women of this country. They ain't got no kinna, anybody, any woman. They have no respect for them. But let me say to all of your viewers, Sherrod, this is abuse. And the Minister of Human Services stood there this evening. I know the Region 5 Rep, Vince Roy, went to her and asked her if she's going to make a statement on Dharmlal's behavior. And she turned and she walked away. She said absolutely nothing. When Member of Parliament Tabitha Haley, was abused by Kwame McCoy, she said absolutely nothing. And this is the person that the PPP has put to represent women in government. That's what we have to deal with.
Natasha, where are we going as a country? If this is how a minister, could you imagine a female going into a police station trying to get redress? If this is the signal that we send, that this our minister can conduct the nation's affairs in the National Assembly, right? And somebody who intervenes, I'm on suspension for 4 sittings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sherrod, I know it will take a lot out of you, and perhaps you should make a statement on all of this.
I thank you for your kind words, but I would gladly face suspension for the rest of the year from the National Assembly if it means standing up for what is right, standing up for what is good, standing up for what is just in the National Assembly. Because for too long, this kind of crass behavior from the Nigel Dharmlals of the PPP has been allowed to pass in the National Assembly unnoticed, unintercepted.
But
Sherrod, all years is the opposition, and when the government says aye.
But Sherrod, if you remember when Nima Flubes presented, I think it was the day after, no, she presented 2 after me. Myself, Vindi, and then Nima presented. And Nima used her opening remarks, her first few statements, to speak to the speaker on the abuse that is being hurled from the other side. And you know what he said to her? Noted. That is what he said to her. And we will have to bring back all these things now that we have taken a stand. Sherrod, we will stand with you. Whatever
And
your
Natasha,
decision is, we will stand with you.
we remind the nation and the world that there's a no confidence motion right now tabled against the Speaker of the National Assembly for similar issues, for similar transgressions. Right now, there's a motion of no confidence against the Speaker. And this is just another example.
Sharad, we have to get the Parliamentary Union, the International Parliamentary Union, we have to get them involved in the biased manner in which the Speaker operates in Guyana. He should not be allowed to jump off wherever he wants.
Yeah.
He has a responsibility as a Speaker. If he doesn't know how to conduct himself, if he can't take the responsibility, he should not have taken the job.
Yep.
I
would
agree.
gladly, as I think as any of our the other male colleagues in the National Assembly and especially on the parliamentary opposition side would face suspension, and I gladly accept any penalty if it means standing up in defense for our women in this society, standing up in defense of women in the National Assembly. What do we tell our country, our women in this country, Natasha? Is there a hope for respect for women if this is what is happening at the level of the National Assembly?
Sharad, I want to say to our women that we respect ourselves and we should ensure that we are respected. You respect yourself and you ensure that you are respected. Yep. And I always believe in what Rosa Parks said. You can't be quiet about it. So listen to me. Ladies, you have seen from since August 2020 to now what has happened to us. And we are your national leaders. We are the women who will represent you. And so we have no other position but to stand up and fight, because we ask you to do that for yourself. And we will stand up. All of the women of the opposition, we will stand up and we will represent ourselves and everyone that we were elected to represent. And so whatever the women on the other side of the house, the government side of the house, whatever vile behavior they condone, it is a reflection of their values, and it is a reflection of their leadership. And so we may not be able to hold them to any standards because they have none. For condoning Dharmlal, for condoning him. And it's not him alone. Today he was on record because he started off at 10 o'clock in the morning. It is the whole day that we have been abused in that National Assembly. When it becomes too much, you come outside and take a break. I remember Kathy sitting down and asking, how much more of this?
And my only regret is that I did not intervene sooner. My only regret is that I did not intervene sooner. Natasha, I want to thank you for spending this time on the program with us. Go right ahead. You were about to say something. My apologies. Go right ahead.
I want to tell the viewers that I had to intervene even after you would have intervened to protect us. Pauline Sukai stood on the other side of the house and hurled insults at us that we are doing this because we don't want to work. So she, an indigenous leader, a female indigenous leader, encouraged Dharmlal, encouraged him and applaud him for what he did. They are not ready for leadership. They are not ready to be an example for women in this country. We will stand up, and I ask our constituency, I ask the women of value, the women of work, the women of substance, stand up and do not be disrespected. Thank you for having me, Sharad.
Thank you for being here, Honorable Natasha Singh Lewis, Member of Parliament. Thanks for joining the program this evening. Folks,
have a good night.
That is where we are, and that's our program. Stay safe tonight. Stay safe. We got some difficult days ahead of us. Stay safe. Stay safe. That's our program.